Hello friends, here we are here in week 4, almost the halfway point for our class. It's hard to believe, it's gone really fast so far, at least it has for me. I hope it has for you too. So in this video I'm going to be covering two crucial aspects of your research that's going to help you with the upcoming assignment. You're going to be developing some research questions, and this will also help you hopefully understand the theoretical foundations and the role that those have in your study. So we're going to start with the research questions. So whether you're conducting a qualitative or a quantitative study, your research questions are the driving force behind your entire research project. So for qualitative studies, you need to keep your research questions focused and manageable. Having too many can make things too complex and difficult to complete effectively and within a timely manner. So remember that simplicity is the key when it comes to writing these. You're not trying to use big words or sound smart or complex sentences. Usually what you're writing about is complex enough, so your research questions should be clear, cold, and concise. So your research questions are also written to explore your phenomenon, not just based on points of interest or like subpoints that are related to your phenomenon. So writing too many research questions can cause you some headaches when it comes to data collection, analysis, and presenting your results. And again, they would make for a pretty long process. You have to collect data for each research question that you have, so you want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for 3 or 4 hour interviews. Your participants will thank you. So likewise for quantitative studies, your research questions should align directly with your problem and purpose statements. Make sure that all of your research questions are related to the problem statement and that all of your study variables are fully and accurately described, including their conceptual and operational definitions, which you will be setting those up in your prospectus PowerPoint and in your chapter 3. So if your research questions are bringing in something that isn't represented in your problem statement and your purpose statement, then I'm going to hit the buzzer. If it's not in your problem statement, it doesn't go in your research questions. Also, it's important to be consistent with your phrasing or your verbiage. So let's say you use the word leadership in your problem statement. You can't change it and use the word supervisor in your research questions. So don't switch things up on us. If you feel like you're repeating yourself, then you're doing it right. We don't want you to get fancy on us and try to keep us entertained by changing the words up a little bit. I don't want to keep you too long, so let's go ahead and move on to theoretical foundations. And these are crucial for both qualitative and quantitative studies, and sometimes can be difficult to understand. So let's go to qualitative research first. Our theoretical foundations come from seminal sources that provide the foundation for your research, and they support and justify your research questions and the phenomenon that you are exploring. So these theoretical foundations can take the form of theories, models, or concepts. Theories offer, it's a really loud motorcycle there for you. Theories offer broad explanations for an observed phenomenon, and they're predictive in nature. Models are just a visual representation of that theory and typically shows the relationships between concepts or maybe like the steps in a process. Concepts, on the other hand, are general notions or ideas that can typically be measured. So your theoretical foundations should frame your research on the phenomenon that you're studying, and ultimately they're going to kind of guide your approach and inform your analysis. So qualitative researchers, I have a good question for you. How many theories should you have? So the answer is just enough to cover your phenomenon. You may hear some of us at residency say that 2 is good, 1 is great. I like to compare the amount of theories that you use to a pair of prescription glasses. So if your glasses are the right prescription, you can see things clearly. If it's the wrong prescription, then things are blurry. Like if I pick up my husband's glasses and put those on my face, I'm not going to be able to see because his prescription is different than mine. So consider multiple theories that cover the same thing. So that would be like wearing 2 or more pairs of prescription glasses at once. You're going to stack them on your face. That's not going to work, right? So for quantitative studies, theoretical foundations kind of play a different role. For our quant studies, theories, models, and concepts help define the variables of your study. It kind of helps remove the bias because you're not defining those variables. You're leaning to a theory to do that. So it's more like a framework for understanding and measuring the constructs that you're going to be investigating. So by grounding your research in established theoretical foundations, it helps you show that your variables are well defined and operationalized, and that your study is ultimately going to contribute to the existing and the broader body of knowledge in your field. So how do you find a theory? Well, you can read and look and see what other researchers are using. One favorite way that we all kind of lean to is you can hit Google up, type your keywords in for your phenomenon, type your variable names in for your quantitative research, hit search, and then when it comes up, it defaults to all. You're just going to select images. When you do that, all kinds of models come up, and then you can click on those, and those will typically take you to the articles that it came from. So you do need to make sure that it's coming from peer-reviewed research. If it's not, you can probably find it in peer-reviewed research. Another really good tool here is going to be AI. My favorite for looking for theories is Claude, Claude, if you have not used that yet. I just typed in a couple of variables before I made this video, and it gave me 5 suggestions to dig into. So not doing the work for me, but kind of saving some of the digging and searching time for me, which is a really great use for AI. So my friend Claude can save you some digging time for sure. So that's all for this week's video, and as always, if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me. Have a great week.